Dear students, welcome back to the video lecture series on embedded systems. This is lecture number 14 and we are into module number 2. So, today we shall consider the next set of instruction. So, this one is, I will call this lecture as instruction part number 3. Okay. Instruction part number 3. So, in the previous discussion, I have covered some of the arithmetic and logical rotate and shift instructions also. In today's lecture, we shall see the few branch and unconditional call instructions. Okay, so here, what are these actually instructions do? So first thing is they will help us in controlling the execution of the instructions. So suppose if there are something like 10 instructions, say after the fifth instructions, if you are looking for the some conditions, if those conditions are met, so then after fifth line of execution, you can go to means the instructions can be shifted to the seventh line. Okay. Otherwise, it has to execute the next immediate line, that is the line number 6. So like that you can include these instructions in your program. Okay, so these are actually called as some of the branch and call instructions, which are like unconditional branch instructions. Okay, so how these are executed in the ARM Cortex M3? The most basic branch instructions are given here. One is B space label, that is branch to a labeled address. Okay, so it is only for branch. Okay, so that is unconditional. Then BX register, branch to an address specified by a register. Again, it is also like an unconditional value only. Okay, then if you consider a few of the branch and link instructions, so they are usually used as BL space label, branch as well as link. Okay, branch to a labeled address and save the return address in the link register. So this is actually used whenever a condition is met. Okay, and if it jumps to that particular location, before jumping to that particular location, it has to store its present value in the link register so that it can refer back to the link register while completing the task. Okay, that is the while returning to the address. Okay, this is how it is actually executed in the thing. Okay, so BLX register, branch to an address specified by the register and save the return address in the link register. Okay, so we shall see few examples so that it will be much more clear. Okay, so when you use BLX, you should make sure that the LSB of the register is 1. Otherwise, the processor will produce a faulty or a error result. Okay, this is because it is an attempt to switch to the ARM state. ARM state means a 32-bit instruction execution state. Okay, so there are other ways also to carry out the branch instructions without using these BL or BLX or B. That is, you can use move and load instruction. Suppose if you are checking for some value, so that value, say for example, if a particular value if you are looking, so that value can be loaded into one of the register. So here R0 content is loaded or copied into the R15. Then what we are doing, we are loading the content of the memory location specified by R0 into R15, correct? So that can be popped. Okay, so it is like a push instruction, it is like a pop instruction. Okay, next, so when do we use conditional branches? Previous one was call and unconditional branch. Now if you check the conditional branch instructions, how the conditions are met, and based on those conditions which all decisions can be made in the instructions. So first thing, if you look into the conditional thing here, so whenever we see the condition, so we should think about the special register, that is the APSR register. So we know already APSR can hold totally the flags, okay, which are NZCV. Okay, so that we have already discussed in the previous lecture. But even though, if you just check the various condition, as I told, for zero flag, it will be set whenever the entire result of an operation is zero, particularly arithmetic and logical instruction. Negative flag, so this flag is set when the result of an instruction has a negative value, that is MSB, as I told in the previous class. Okay, carry flag. Okay, so here the carry flag, it is usually used for unsigned datas. Okay, so you may be performing again any arithmetic or logical instructions. In that, if you see a borrow or a carry, okay, so in such case this flag will be set. Overflow flag, as I told, whenever you have the result greater than the 32 bits, and one more condition is when the two negative values are added together, which will produce the positive value. This is also one of the condition. So various symbols are also used for checking the conditions. Symbols means the definition which reflects the equivalent conditions are given here. One is EQ, that stands for equal. NE means not equal. Both are extracted from the zero flag condition. Then based on the carry flag, we can have CS, that is carry set, or sometimes it is also referred as unsigned higher or same. Okay, carry clear, another one, unsigned lower, another name. Okay, so based on the N flag, we have minus or negative, one more is plus. Okay, then overflow flag, one is VS and VC, that is overflow flag set, overflow flag clear, or no overflow flag, zero. So there are certain conditions which depend on more than one flag, such as carry flag and zero flag for the condition higher value and lower value. So if you consider these conditions, similarly we have the few more conditions, that is signed greater than or equal, and one more is signed less than. Okay, so these two conditions depend on more than two flags. One is N flag, another one is V flag. Okay, so N flag for whenever it is set, and overflow flag is also set. Okay, so both overflow flag and negative flag, they should be set. And another condition is the overflow flag should be zero, and also the overflow flag can be equal to the negative flag. When both are actually equal, so we can see the greater than or equal condition. So if you check the less than condition, in such case we have to see again the negative flag and overflow flag. Okay, so the overflow flag, if you check out here, the negative flag should be zero and overflow flag should be not of the negative flag. Okay, so that is for the greater than or equal. If you are just checking for the greater than flag, So you have to go for the zero flag. So we have to check for the zero flag, it should be a 0, and negative flag it should be equal to 1, and also overflow flag should be equal to 1. Okay, so these are all the various conditions what we have. Another condition is less than or equal. When you see less than or equal, we actually check the again three flags here. One is zero flag, another one is negative flag, and another one is the overflow flag. Okay, so when you check the zero flag, it should be set. Okay, or even the negative flag should be set. That means both are the same. And also along with the negative flag or zero flag, we also look into the overflow flag. So overflow flag, if it is 0, so we can confirm that the less than or equal condition is there. Okay, so for always condition, we don't check for any of the things. Okay, so based on these discussions, let us see the few of the examples also. So if you consider few examples here, this is regarding the instructions which come under branch and control instructions. Branch and control instructions. Okay, so if you see this, so we can have the syntax. The syntax is like B stands for branch and space, the in the flower bracket whatever I write, that stands for the condition. Okay, then followed by, this is a single statement, B without space actually. Then we have the space, you have to leave the space, then you have to mention the label. Okay, similarly for BL also same thing, condition space label. Okay, and even for BX also we have to specify the condition. Okay, space label, and even for BLX also. Okay, so this is how we have the syntax here, where B stands for the branch. Okay, so BL stands for branch with link. This is for branch with link. Okay, similarly BX, it stands for branch indirect. BLX stands for branch indirect with link. Then condition is like an optional condition, label is like the any of the label whichever you want to give. Okay, so if you consider the BX here, only for BX and BL we need to use, instead of the label we have to use the registers here. Okay, so not label it is, we need to use the registers. So how these things will operate actually? So these things will operate, all these instruction cause a branch to label or the address indicated in the RM. Okay, along with this, the BL and BLX instructions write a address of the next instruction to the link register. Okay, so link register means it is R14 register. Okay, so if you consider the few examples here, so let me give the few examples to you so that it will be more clear to this. Okay, so I can have examples like, I may write B space loop A. Okay, so it stands for what? Branch to loop A. Branch to loop A. So it is a conditional or unconditional. So that I will give it here. It is an unconditional branch instruction. So BLE we have. So where LE is the condition now, less than or equal, correct? So after that it can jump to some label. Okay, conditional branch label to negative. So if the condition is less than or equal, okay, if this is less than or equal, it will jump to ng. So it is a conditional instruction. Similarly, we can have b dot w also. B dot w some label. Okay, so B dot W stands for branch to target within 16 MB range. Within 16 MB range. So whatever address you give, it should be within the 16 MB range only. Okay. Similarly, we can have BEQ, which stands for equal, then followed by some label. I can have L1 as label. So which will jump to this, and it is a conditional statement. Okay, this one is also conditional statement only. Okay, so BEQW is also the same thing. You can use BEQ dot W. So some label L1. Okay, you can have any label. Just for simplicity here I have written the thing as this. It is a conditional one, but here the thing is range is only 1 MB. Okay, similarly we can have a BL branch and link followed by some label F1 I will take. Okay, so if I take this branch with link to a function, okay, and return address stored in link register, correct? So similarly we can also have the instructions like BXNE, where NE is the condition. Return for means the this one stands for conditionally branch to address stored in R0. Okay, if I write like this, if this condition is met, so uh, the value has to means it has to jump to the address specified in the R0. So address will be given here. Okay, so like that we can have BLX also. BLX R0. BLX R0, it stands for branch with link and exchange. Okay, so similarly, based on such things, we also have a few of the examples. Say if you consider this one, if then else, which is given as IT. Okay, this description we see later. What we have is IT. IT stands for if then. Okay, then followed by we have three variants, something like X, Y, and even the Z also. Okay, so if then true, execute else, greater than. So it is comparing R0 and R1. If R0 is greater than R1, if this condition is met, okay, first two statements will be executed if it is true. If it is false, next two statements will be executed. Why two lines and why next two lines? Because the instruction architecture itself is like that. Okay, so other than these conditional or unconditional branch instructions, we have few more conditional branch operations which will look into the value of the 0. Those are CBZ and CBNZ. Compare and branch if 0. If it is 0, if it is not equal to 0, we use CBNZ. Say it is used, say whenever you perform some operation, if you are looking for a particular value or the result to be 0, based on that condition you may perform some other operation. Okay, particularly like if you are finding even and odd number, if you divide a number by 2, the remainder if it is 0, so we classify it as even number. If it is not equal to 0, it can be classified as odd number. So in such case we can use this. Okay, so for example, what they have taken is I value is given as 5 while I is not equal to 0. Okay, so what it should execute, it should execute function 1. Okay, and after for every execution I must be decremented until it reaches, okay, this particular value. Okay, so the same thing can be implemented in the assembly, as we can have this 5 loaded into R0. Okay, now what we are looking into, we are looking into whether the value is 0 or no. That value we are comparing with what? R0 content. So we are using cbz R0 comma loop 1 exit, correct? So loop 1. So if you consider this R0, it will compare whether it is 0 or no. If it is not 0, it will execute next line function bl function 1. Subtract R0 by 1. So R0 value will become how much now? 4. So still now it will next, after this instruction it will execute this instruction b loop 1. So that means it will come back here. Okay, so again it will check whether R0 is 0. Now the value is 4. So again it will come to this function bl function 1. So it is somewhere written function 1. Okay, so next what happens, R0 is again subtracted. So it will jump to loop 1 again, correct? So like that, if you consider the things until it goes to 0, if it goes to 0, it will jump to loop exit. This is how it is executed. Okay, so if you check out the things, the cbz and cbnz condition. So for condition for cbz or cbnz, the syntax, if I consider, okay, so the syntax for this is cbz, you can use cbz followed by some register comma label. Same thing for cbnz also, some register and label. Okay, so like this, if you consider, Rn can be any register. Okay, so how it operates, the use of cbz and cbnz instruction are used to avoid changing the condition code flag and to reduce the number of instructions, correct? Okay, so if you consider the few example here, I can write cbz r5 comma target. Okay, so something like if r5 is 0, compare branch if 0. If r5 is equal to 0, it will jump to target. Okay, so some similarly if I write cbnz r0, something like back is like a label. So what is the condition here? If r0 is not equal to 0, then jump to the label back. Okay, so after these things, we if you see the similar kind of example what we have given here, if you are checking for R naught, okay, condition. So what is the R naught condition being checked here? CBNZ. If R naught is not equal to 0, it should jump for email looks okay here to this space. Here a few more instructions will be written, so those instructions will be executed. If R naught is 0, then immediately it will execute this and it will show the error message. Then it will exit. Okay. This is a very small example here. This is checked with respect to APSR register. Okay. So similarly, we also have the instructions for if then and if then else. Okay. So if I consider only IT, it stands for if then. Okay. Similarly, if you consider it with respect to IT, TTE. So okay, so true then execute. Okay, so which can have IT followed by some XYZ. Okay, where T means then. Okay, and E means else. Okay, the second to fourth statement can either be then, that is true, or else. Here I can have IT, then I can have a few more words here or letters. Okay, these letters can be either T or E. These things will stand for true. E means what you have given else. Okay, T means then or true. Okay, say for a simple example, if you consider here what we have here, if R1 is less than R2, then what is the required operation to be done? R2 will be equal to R2 minus R1, and also R2 should be divided by 2. If R1 is not less than R2, so then R1 will be loaded with R1 minus R2 and R1 will be divided by 2. So in assembly language, how to write this? First thing is you have to compare this. Okay, so that is done by the instruction compare R1 comma R2. So if R1 is less than R2, how to understand this? If then, okay, if then true. So what is the true condition? R1 less than R2. Okay, execute, and one more E means that is the else. Okay, then execute the instruction 1 and 2, that is these are instructions 1 and 2, else execute instruction 3 and 4. Instruction 1 and 2 is what? R2 minus R1, and R2 should be divided by 2. Okay, so that is the one condition. So like this, if you consider a few of the conditions over here, so what I said is we can have IT as the common thing, then we may have like X also and Y also and Z also. So if you specify, if you use X, so this indicates that condition switch for second instruction in the IT block. This is for the second instruction. Okay, so then if you consider the Y, it is for the third instruction. Okay, so if then condition, this is for the fourth instruction. So after this, whatever you have written instructions, so they specify, they refer or execute based on these things. Okay, so there are many things which we need to understand here. Say for example, if you are using the instruction like ITTE, if then true else, oh, what is the condition? I can have not equal. So this condition is meant for next three instructions in the program. So next three instructions what we have here. Okay. So similarly, say you can have many more instructions. So if we have ITE, okay. So here, as we have specified how many we are using TE. So if you are using 2, that means it will be felt or it will be applied for 3 instructions, okay, up to third instruction. So if you use only one uh, extension here, suffix, so it is meant only for the next 2 instructions, correct? Okay, so like that it will be used for the many of the instructions. So earlier example we used there I double T and double E. So we have totally 3 suffix. So it will be this is applied for next 4 instructions, correct? So this is how you need to understand. Okay. So similarly, based on some of these things, we have many instructions and other things which we have seen right now. Okay. Say we have few more instructions like T double B. Okay, and also TBH. Okay, T double B it stands for table branch byte. Table branch byte. So this is byte. This is if you consider TBH that stands for half word. Table branch half word. Okay. So these two things specify this. Okay. So what it means actually. Okay. So the operation is this instruction will cause the program counter forward branch using the table of the single byte offset or the half word offset. Okay. So which we shall see through some examples, maybe in the uh, execution or maybe here itself. Okay. So let me check for a while. Okay. So let us consider these instructions in the execution itself there while describing the demo examples. Okay. Say if you have the condition or few of the conditions like this, if I have the instruction like ADR dot W. Okay. So ADR dot W add with then register R0 comma branch table byte. Okay. So if I have written here like branch table underscore byte, okay, so then what it should do, it will add the label values specified in this label with R0. So here I may be writing those things uh, like branch table byte here, branch table underscore byte. Here I can specify DCB as 0. Okay. So another DCB define constant byte as something like I may have considered like cases case 2 minus case 1 divided by 2. Okay. So if this is the condition, so it will check here. After this instruction, it will check TBB, then R0 comma R1. Okay. R1 is the index R0 is the base address of the branch table. Case 1 is like instruction sequence to follow. Okay, so case 1 it may be having some value, then case 2 table branch byte. So these are the values R1, R0 and R1. Okay, these will be compared. What is added now? R0 will be added either with this or case 2 result minus case 1 result divided by 2. So if you are considering other than this, if these conditions are not met, we can go for TBH also. That is TBH, it will stands for the PC, current PC value it will take, then R1, then left shift by value 1. Okay, so I can have branch table high, and here I can indicate DCI and another condition DCI, define constant instruction. Okay, so like that we can use it for many of the instructions. Okay, that's all we have in this. Thank you.